there was a period of time where I dropped consistent Love is Blind reviews and recaps. Listen, I don't think you understand. At the time that I was doing all of those videos, that I was going through a lot of personal shiza, and honestly I needed time to deal with that, and I don't think you guys understand. Finding the motivation to sit down and record an episode every single week was really hard for me to find because it's actually kind of lonely to really record an episode on your own. Like, it's really hard, and I'm a one-woman show, and so I have to record and then edit and then maybe add graphics inside it and then post it and then market it. It's a lot. And you guys know me that I am also on other platforms. I'm on TikTok. I have a mukbang channel. I have an Instagram. So I didn't really technically leave. I just stopped recording episodes of the I'm About It podcast. And yes, this is the I'm About It video podcast. I'm trying to figure out how to do it audio. I have to do the URL, the links, and post it on different platforms and get permission from everybody. It's just, I cannot. It's actually a lot of work. And even right now, I'm thinking about, okay, did I press play? Is the mic on? It's just really a lot. And I have to move sometimes in between recording. I'll cut this out to check to see if I've pressed play. It's just a lot. So I was going through a lot personally around the time that Love is Blind was ending and then the reunion. I did post my live reactions to that on TikTok. So if you guys follow me on MJ's Reviews or I'm About It podcast, I think it's I've relabeled it to the I'm About It podcast on TikTok, where I've really post a lot of my long form kind of notable TV show movies. It's not really on a consistent basis, and that's the other thing too. On the topic of consistency, I honestly find it really hard to do anything kind of on a consistent basis. There are things that I'm just routine, like my mukbang, I can do it every single week, I know my people are gonna be there. But to garner everything from scratch again and do it on a consistent basis is just extremely hard. So I would rather just sit down whenever I have time and have something to say. But I know that when it comes to the algorithm and growth and success, it has to be consistent basis. And then on top of that, when it comes to podcasting, all the girlies look really good. So I have to put on makeup, do my hair, do all these other things. And you all know, I have a full-time job, so it's really hard. I mean, I kind of look crazy because I do all these sorts of things throughout the day, and then I have to figure out, okay, put on makeup, retouch, look good. It was just a lot, and so I'm starting back up again. I needed some time to really relax, and I think I can continue to do it. I don't know if it'll be on a consistent basis. I'm even thinking about bringing back vlogs, because I remember when I was vlog heavy last year, I kind of missed that a little bit. While I was moving through my day, I was where would I put the camera for the vlog, and how I would edit it for the vlog. But it's just a lot of work. I know that if I start it, I have to continue it, and it's just a lot of work, and I wasn't garnering a lot of great engagement through it, so I just stopped. And honestly, I love podcasting. I love listening to podcasts. Here's the thing: when it comes to each and every boring minutia of my life, I put on a podcast in the background to make it more fun and lively. I'm now becoming more of a music girly. I've always been, but more of kind of an inside music girl. You have your people that you listen to and you love and you follow, but you don't really go out to go to the concerts and go see them. But now I'm that girly now. I don't know if income, I wasn't super poor this entire time where I couldn't do it. Just concerts really didn't excite me. And also I always thought that concerts is something that you do with people, and so the people that I'm with really do not listen to the type of music that I listen to. So there's that. So anyways, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and that's why I thought it'd be really good for me to create my own podcast, because I have so much to say. I always have so much to say. And we're talking about so much today. Let me just say, when it comes to Love is Blind, it was complete. It was a sham. They really did pull the rug under us. You know what I mean? I really do think most of the couples there were really there for fame and fortune. They were not for love. I think Amy and Johnny were there for love, and that's it. But a lot of people were not there for the right reasons, and it was quite clear throughout everything kind of ended up. So I mean, there's really not much to say. Like, I listened to all the podcasts from all of the contestants. Like, they went on different podcasts and all these different types of things, and it was just like they're using this show as a game. So I really didn't like it, but that's all I'm going to say about that. And I do want to do like a quick news like review, like news update, things that have happened over the past like few weeks, month. TikTok is going to close down in a few months. And I spent 3 years trying to gain, followers on there on one of my TikTok where I do makeup and beauty. And it's kind of like really hard to really swallow, you know what I mean? And I've put in my heart into each and everything that I do with the time that is permitted to me and the resources. And with that being said, knowing that TikTok will just like vanish out of thin air after putting all this work into it is like really hard. I'm happy that I still have, YouTube and all. YouTube was actually my first social media first love. Like, it was YouTube. I fell in love with YouTube in the beginning of the pandemic. And then really with like videos, and then, kind of grew, the social media landscape grew and it expanded and entered the mainstream, and then more social media platforms arose out of that. So it was like really interesting to see that. And when you have influencers who are willing to like switch and move and, to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, you have to do that as well. So that was my goal, was to, be on this platform, be on this platform, be on TikTok, do on Instagram, even though I really just want to do about one platform. And that's kind of like how I like to see YouTube. YouTube, you can come to my channel and you can get a little bit of everything. You can get long form, short form, sometimes makeup, pop culture, TV shows, movie reviews, kind of like a network. There's so many different types of content for you here, and I really hope you stay and hopefully you subscribe. So I just realized I'm just gonna come as I am, sometimes no makeup, sometimes with makeup. Actually, with makeup, let's be honest, like, I'm a makeup girly. I will always put on makeup. But the people who do podcasts, they really put in the time for the glam for podcasts. Like, there are people who actually hire makeup artists and glams to actually glam themselves up, and I don't have the money for that. So I will come as I am, with the time permitting me. I want to do it consistently, but I know that it's not always going to be on a consistent basis, or whatever I can do. But I will try to record in advance. But then again, it's hard to do that too, because I kind of review and talk about things that are happening in the moment, and you can't really record in advance. You can't really tell the future. Yes, guys. Oh my God, there's so much to catch up on. Yes, I'm wearing Playboy. Got it from Urban Planet. Urban Planet, I love you, sponsor me. Really, really cute. And I still shop at Urban Planet because it's like a really great place to know what the teeny boppers are wearing these days. But also get some things that honestly, that you don't really need to get at a higher price elsewhere. You know what I mean? There are some things that you really don't need to spend, $60, $80 on. Like a little tiny vest, $15. You know what I mean? Like a little like zip up. $15. Like, you don't need to go somewhere else and spend a $60, $80 item when it's cheaper elsewhere. And I get it, how it's really good to invest in quality basics. But if you're a person who likes to dress in, how do I say this? Not dress trendy, but really like to dress for the time, then it's okay to spend a $15 here and then do a spring cleaning a few years from now, where you kind of remove the items you don't use, which is what I did. I'm doing a spring cleaning. I'm removing the items I don't use, things I don't wear, things that don't bring me joy. You know what I mean? And then really putting in items that I will actually wear, that is more me coded, and removing the thoughts that people are telling me about, your wardrobe doesn't have a lot of color and not enough patterns. That's just not me. I will buy it and it will stay in my closet forever, because I do not wear things with colors and patterns and flowery. I don't do that. I have colored pieces. Like, I'll have, a pink shirt, a green sweater. But most of the times my wardrobe is either beige, white, black, gray, brown. Oh, love a good brown, like a creamy brown. Creams, like, that's kind of like my wardrobe. That's kind of my vibe. That's me. And I'm comfortable in that. And I know what I want now. I'm also in the era of really dressing up just to dress up. And I'm not gonna like show up looking like I'm going to the Oscars at McDonald's. Oh, speaking of McDonald's, is McDonald's canceled? We'll talk about that. I'm just like in the mood of just really dressing up when I'm about to go out. I usually just like put together something and I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm out the door. But I actually want to put thought into what I'm wearing, not for social media, not for me. Believe it or not, like when I was in high school, I thought I would become a fashion designer. Right? Believe it or not, I thought I would honestly put an effort and energy into creating clothes, creating, items and style. And that part of myself was deleted, basically, throughout my entire life, because I was told you can't really have a career in that. There's no such thing as that. You can't make money out of that, which is not true. If you're very talented and you're persistent, you put in the hard work, you can. But that's my thing with social media too. Like, even if you put in the hard work and you do everything that people are saying that you should do, sometimes you're not really successful. And that's why creating another thing, aka my podcast, I'm about it. It's hard for me to continue without having results, like immediate results up front. But everybody tells you who's successful with podcasting or successful in anything would say it's about putting in the hours, it's about putting in the hard work, putting the sacrifices up front, and you will reap the rewards later on. So whatever. Here I am. But I like doing it, but it's just like I said, the motivation. But anyways, going back to fashion designing and styling. I really want to style my clothes again. Really, I used to really, find outfit ideas on Instagram, save them, and then look at them before I would go into my closet and pick out the pieces that I would want to wear for the evening, for the day, or for the occasion. I need to start doing that again. Why? Because it brings me joy. It brings me happiness to know that I'm putting on an outfit that was designed for my body, that makes me happy, that has a little bit of creativity into it. I'm going to start doing it with the pieces that I already have, and then kind of like grow and add pieces that I see, here and there when I'm out and about. Because just because I'm, want to dress up doesn't mean you should spend a bag. You feel me? Just doesn't mean you should, empty out your bank account. I'm not about that. I'm all about wise investing, spending your money wisely. I'm all about moderation. Okay, so I'm really getting into that, and I really want to get into that even this summer. I really want to push the boundaries on what I wear, including wearing skirts and dresses. Again, I think I said this. I have never really been comfortable wearing skirts and dresses because I have, clitoris pilaris, which just means like those tiny bumps. People call it chicken skin, strawberry skin, whatever. And I have like a really light skin. So because of that, it's hard for me to be comfortable because I know that people are staring at my skin. Now, keep in mind, depending on where you live and you grew up, like I grew up in a very predominantly white neighborhood where everybody had basically porcelain skin. And when you would go out wearing your short shorts and wearing your capris and little skirts, people will make fun of you. However, when I go back to Boston, which is where I'm from, a lot of people that look like me are around and they wear skirts, and a lot of them have strawberry skin. A lot of them have clitoris pilaris, and they're so comfortable. So I'm very comfortable in wearing it down there. So I'm learning how to be comfortable in my skin wherever I'm at, not just where I know I will feel comfortable. A theme of my life, like learning how to be uncomfortable so I can therefore be comfortable with it in the future. You know what I mean? Really pushing the boundaries with my style, in the sense that I'm putting effort into my style. I want to put effort into it. You know what I mean? So, and be a little bit more, not really creative, but like just put more effort basically. Music. I've been really into music. This summer will be the summer of music. I mean, Coachella just ended, and let me just say, I am jealous for the first time ever, of every single person who went to Coachella. Okay? Why? Well, T-Pain, Will Smith, Justin Bieber, Kesha. I don't even remember the last time Kesha performed. These are like 90s artists. Like, these are like for the 90s babies. I'm a 90s baby. You feel me? Of course, you have like new ones like, Thames performed and Ice Spice. But like Kesha Justin Bieber, T-Pain, the Black Eyed Peas girl. Oh my God, what's her name? Good thing I have my laptop right in front of me here. The Black Eyed Peas. No, not Fergie. Fergalicious. 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 No, it's not the Black Eyed Peas. I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name. But anyways, Will Smith, Justin Bieber's. You have T-Pain. You have Kesha. I know the other girl. Oh my God. They all performed. I really do think that Coachella really is. I think this Coachella is to blame, which is great. It's genius marketing. Instead of just scheduling an artist and then paying artists to perform at your event, I think what they're doing is they're pairing artists together. Rihanna Rap performed with this artist that I'm trying to figure out the name of. It was no. Yeah, she performed with Kesha, but I forgot. These reading glasses are really pretty. Yes, I know. Yes, I got it from Zulu. Yes, sponsor me. I love Zulu. Because of their cheap frames, and I didn't order these reading glasses, but they just came to my door. I actually just ordered the clear ones, but these came inside and it flatters me even better, and I've gotten so many compliments from these reading glasses. Now, I'm really, because a lot of the 90s artists, like Justin Bieber, we didn't remember the last time he performed. Apparently he performed at the NHL something. Will Smith, apparently he's not canceled anymore, and I was not part of the bandwagon who were canceling Will Smith. And who else? T-Pain has always been timeless. 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Who else? I mean, it was great. Like Kesha, I don't remember the last time she performed. So it was great. And again, for the first time, I was actually jealous because honestly, I really am not jealous of Coachella. I would never spend $6,000 for such a thing. And I heard it's hard to get there. I heard it's hard to find hotels and find all these sorts of things. I heard that you're basically in the desert, so people don't pack like they're in the desert, like they're packing like they're going to dinner. You know what I mean? So nobody's bringing anything with them. They're half naked. That could never be me. You know what I mean? I am gonna have to be there with a backpack full of essentials. You feel me? And I'm gonna be wearing a sweater at all times because of the bugs and because of the I don't get it. They're dressing. I went to Afro Nation, and Afro Nation wasn't really in a festival. It was in bleachers, and we were there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, and all we did was basically standing and dancing, and we heard Shansia, and of course Burna Boy, I was gonna say Afro Boy, Fireboy, Rema, Ashaki. Yeah, the Ashaki concert that happened in Toronto just last week, I didn't attend because I spent the money on a lawnmower. Grown people things, you know what I mean? I needed a new lawnmower. It's either I spent a ticket to go see Ashaki or I spent a ticket on a lawnmower. Bought a lawnmower instead, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I needed one. And again, I like to be wise with my money. So I'm a fan of Ashaki though. I'm a new fan. My sister who came all the way from the US to come and see him, she's been a really long time fan from middle school, high school. So it made sense. But they bought tickets that were just floor seats, and I'm like, okay, floor seat tickets or lawnmower, floor seat tickets or deal with weeds. These are the things that I have to deal with. And I have to focus on the needs of my house and where I live. Coachella was looked like a lot of fun. I will only go if I'm invited to go and I can bring a friend or a family member or what have you. But no, I would not go and spend 10 grand of my money if I had 10 grand to spend like that. Beyonce, 16 year dress. Have anybody listened to the album? Now, if you're a Beyonce hater, then you're on the wrong channel. You are literally on the wrong channel. Not only am I'm her promoter, I'm her marketer, I'm her fangirl, I'm her cheerleader, I'm her admirer. So let me just say this. I don't know who you are. We are not friends if you're not a Beyonce fan. You could be like, I appreciate the hard work that she's put into an album. I appreciate she's an amazing singer and vocalist, but to come out and say I hate Beyonce, I don't know you. The album Cowboy Carter has got critically acclaimed. It's most likely going to be album of the year, the next year's Grammys. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. So number one, let's talk about the music of the album. So 26 songs, and let me give you my song list of my favorites. So number one, Bodyguard. Number two, Blackbird. Number three, Protector. Number four, I think like the Levi Jeans one is really good. Number five, Alligator Tears. Number six, Jolene. Number seven, Yaya. I'm literally a fan of half of the music on her album, and that usually is never the case. You know, when you listen to albums, I feel like the listening to a whole album is coming back. Remember back in the day, we used to sit down and listen to entire albums. We would go into the store and buy an album cassette. I still have Hilary Duff and Chris Brown CDs, album CDs, because I'm a big fan of both of them. So we used to do that, and I think we're coming back we're in that era again where we're listening to the entire album. I listened to SZA's album so I can compare it to Taylor Swift's album. Couldn't compare. SZA's album was like beyond amazing. We're in that era again, and I listen to and the way the songs are in the Beyonce album, it's very short, it's very sweet, but extremely impactful, meaningful, and has so much significance in each and every song, and there's so much work done, and we will talk about it. Now, when it comes to her music and the album, you really are able to listen to it from beginning to end because it flows like a play. There's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and it breaks into each other. In the Harvard Crimson, the right articles, I think it's the Harvard University newsletter. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter serves as a reminder of how music can act as a force for community-based strength and progress, featuring the best of her vocal talent, rapping on par with hip-hop giants, and carefully chosen and nuanced covers. Beyonce has created a culturally defining and musically genius album. So on the topic of music, you have, for instance, in each and every song, each song has different genres of music in it. So for an example, let's talk about, for instance, those actual genres. We have the instrumental samples and background tracks on Cowboy Carter. So yeah, I'm gonna give you like a brief history as to why people are saying that Cowboy Carter is like amazing. Okay, if you don't know, hear it now. Hear ye. Background tracks on Cowboy Carter are phenomenal and adds to the underlying theme of reclamation. So that is just on the underlying themes. Now, when it comes to, I want to just scroll to where they talk about the multitude of genres. Okay. Cowboy Carter seamlessly blends a multitude of genres with an overreaching country influence, consistently adhering to a theme of the repossession of country's music's origins. In an Instagram announcement, Beyonce stated that this is her Beyonce album, not a country album, right? And we can see that from unequivocally rap track Spaghetti, which I love, to the Tina Turner influenced rock anthem Ya Ya. Beyonce does not need to confine her sound to create cohesive work. Cowboy Carter marks 21 years since her debut solo album from Dangerously in Love. The historically cultural context, like I said, is vital to its appreciation, but the album's musically carries through enough weight to make the work stand out. Unsurprisingly, Beyonce's jaw-dropping vocal agility allows her to take bold yet purposeful risks that differentiate this work from her previous album, Act 1 Renaissance. Notably, in American Requiem, which is one of the songs in Cowboy Carter, Beyonce plays with different vocal sounds that may seem unsettling at first glance, but ultimately add a distinctive layer that makes the track a chilling opener. Two Most Wanted, with Miley Cyrus, both Miley Cyrus and Beyonce, another song, display their extensive vocal ranges and take full advantage of the lower and higher registers. However, the opera, because Beyonce does sing opera on one of the songs in Cara Mi Bien, at the end of Daughter, it's in Daughter, is the album's standout vocal moment because Beyonce is basically doing opera in one of the songs in Cowboy Carter. Not only does Beyonce seize this chance to display her classical training, but she specifically uses Italian to allude to the context of the cinematic track Spaghetti in relation to Western. So when it comes to like mixing of genres, there is also an added rhythmic layer reminiscent of Dolly Parton's iconic nail clicking beat, the influential country star signature sound. Similarly, there's some words I can say. Similarly, Tyrant starts with a feel-good gospel introduction, and then it quickly leads into a violin-driven hip-hop percussion track. So each and every song's, Beyonce is able to show her vocal range with the guest that she brings on, Miley Cyrus, for an example, and switch to different genres within the same track. There is so much Black history and Black history moments from the album. Throughout Cowboy Carter, Beyonce gives breath and life to the legacies of many Black musical genres and geniuses. From Barry to Steve Wonder to Linda Martell, the first Black woman artist to be commercially successful in the country genre. And I'm reading from Elle magazine. At the beginning of her career so that's talking about Linda Martell. So I'm just going to scroll down to, there was a really interesting part that I really liked reading. It was talking about the significance of some of the songs. So for instance, Blackbird, if you don't know, was made by one of the Beatles vocalists, Paul McCartney. So the second song on the album, Blackbird, is obviously a cover of the Beatles' Blackbird. But what many do not know is that the song was originally penned from Paul McCartney following the Little Black Nine integration of an Arkansas high school. So Paul McCartney quotes, "You were only waiting for this moment to arise" was about, the Black people's struggle in the southern states. McCartney explained, "I was using the symbolism of a black bird. So in the UK, bird means girl, so black girl." You get it? So in her rendition, Beyonce's velvety voice, because she sings Blackbird in the Cowboy Carter album, joined by 4 young Black rising stars, because the song is about the rising moment of moving out of oppression and from segregation from the perspective of Black girls. So Beyonce put 4 rising Black young artists on the track: tenor Adele, Brittany Spencer, Tierra Kennedy, and Raina Roberts. The opportunity extended to these young Black women will likely catapult them to have an extraordinary career, which they're already on the road to. At the end of the song, the 4 women's voices come together and harmonize as they sing this line: "You were only waiting for this moment to arise." In that moment, the lyric resonates as the affirmation that it was always intended to be a love letter. So the song Blackbird is about a love letter from Black woman to Black woman. People don't understand, there's so much significance, Black history significance, vocal to Black history to Black country artists. It's an incredible masterpiece that Beyonce has put together, and people do not understand the extent of how she pieced it together. There are even some political statements. So Elle magazine keeps saying that there were strong political statements made in the album by Beyonce, and Beyonce said in one of her songs, she starts with a political statement and ends with a political statement. So she starts with, "Now is the time to face the wind. I am the one to cleanse me of my father's sins." So she alludes to Americans' founding fathers. Through these lines, Beyonce seemingly calls for younger generations to take up the mantle and rebuild our society and our diverse image, repeatedly asking, "Can you hear me? Do you hear me?" Beyonce joins the rich tradition of Black women using country to be seen and heard in Ella Tracy Chapman's Talking About a Revolution and Mickey Gutton's Black Like Me. it's an incredible significance and connection and message that she's trying to get across here. And I'm incredible. Look, and even in American Requiem, the album first song, Beyonce croons, "Them big ideas are buried here." In the outro of that song, she continues to eulogize that America was supposed to be when she sings goodbye to what has been, a pretty house that we never settled in, which means, all of the big promises that were promised to us Black folk, we never got, but we ended up building all of these houses with our blood and bone, and it crumbled. So it's so incredible. And I really do think